you today, Mayor?
I'm well, Joe. How are you today?
Doing well, thank you. Nice to see the sunshine for a change.
Yeah, you'll be able to watch the grass grow this week after all that rain.
Boy, I can hear it growing. that's for sure.
Sure, it'll be green for a while anyway.
No question. Yeah, the DPW department will be very busy, I'm sure.
That and natural resources.
Yes, indeed. Mayor, I thought we could start this morning with just a little recap of a visit by Congressman Lynch last week to Quincy College with a very generous federal grant.
Yes, Congressman Lynch has really been pretty incredible and a great partner, as I've said a number of times publicly, and I truly mean it. He's constantly in touch with this office. He's here on a regular basis in his district. He's got a large district, but he certainly has spent a lot of time in Quincy. And his last two major federal announcements, he's come to Quincy. And of course, the first one was a few weeks back on the $46 million in American Recovery money. And this one was the additional money in that regard, but this is specifically for Quincy College. So it was a $10.6 million award. It was to be used half toward financial aid and students, the other half towards whatever the college deemed necessary or whatever their desires for the college to help them go forward. And we certainly have some ideas in that regard, and we'll be talking to the Board of Governors on that probably next week.
Was this solely for Quincy College, or are there other institutions like Quincy College getting similar grants?
Well, the number of colleges are getting grants. I know that UMass Boston, for example, was receiving a significant grant.
Okay.
So I'm assuming every college was hit, certainly the public ones anyway.
Sure. What happens to the other half if that building is not secured for Quincy College?
Well, I believe the building will be secured.
Okay.
And it will be secured by the federal money. We will take a portion out of our original $46 million, and we'll take a portion out of this specific award to Quincy College. It would allow us to secure the building going forward, and that allows us to kind of, step back, take a good hard look at the site, and take another run at it, and hopefully address any concerns and questions that the city council and members of the public may have. But the site and the location is just too important to let go. For example, I mean, if we didn't go forward with this, and the goal is for a new college building, but if that should not come to be, it's an important site for commercial development. And if we didn't take hold of this right now, my concern was a developer would come in, buy it, put 10 stories, 12 stories up of residential, and then certain councilors would be squawking about that. So in some ways these things are a no-win, but I firmly believe for the long-term health stability of the college, this is the direction we need to go. And this federal money allows us to do that, so I think that's awesome. And again, I thank Congressman Lynch and certainly Senators Warren and Markey for supporting the legislation that brought the money here. So, we'll continue to move forward with a solid plan, and we'll have plenty of meetings, certainly to talk about it going forward.
Do you still envision the 15-story building with city offices included as well? Or?
At this point, stepping back, we're going to look at the whole thing once again, and really do a detailed analysis on the college needs, and particularly what schools of discipline, what kind of space each of them would require. Now, we're obviously going through an interesting time. I mean, online's been more robust, but I always believe that you need a home base, that you'll still need a physical location for people to come and to attend, even with the online. So, and the college is going through some changes. As we've seen over the last few years, it's almost 65 years old. It's had its ups and downs, but going to the 4-year degree program in certain disciplines. So there's some changes coming, and once again, I think it was interesting to me that certain councils didn't recognize that they're calling for a Department of Diversity, and Quincy College could be called the Department of Diversity. I mean, the students it serves, it's almost 50% people of color. It's 2/3 of the students are on financial aid. So why not support not a concept, not an idea, but something physically tangible that actually going to help these people go on with their lives with more education and better skill set going out into society. So, gosh, to me, it was a no-brainer. But I also understand, that people have concerns, and the question is whether the Quincy taxpayer should be subsidizing it. And, so we'll have those discussions and debates going forward.
Mm-hmm. The congressman also alluded to possible more money coming for the Quincy Center T Station. Anything you can elaborate on?
Well, there's the infrastructure bill that he's been working on, and he's on the Transportation Committee. And, the early look on these bills, it appears that there'll be some significant money for transportation projects such as rail, light rail, heavy rail. The MBTA station here, the Red Line in Quincy, would be a perfect candidate to address that aging building station that is not in the greatest of shape. So that should help the MBTA reinvigorate, redo that station. And then, of course, that would go hand in hand then with new development over the air rights of the station and the tracks.
Which the city has jurisdiction over, is that right?
That's correct. So it'd be a combination of the city working with the T, working with the developer, kind of a three-legged stool there. Mm-hmm. So we'll, and under the legislation filed when the MBTA came to Quincy, it gives the city final say over the air rights.
Okay. Mayor, of course, as you're aware, the City Council will begin reviewing your proposed budget for the next fiscal year this week. Maybe you could give us an overview of that proposal.
Yes, I know the Finance Chairman, Dave McCarthy, councilor from Ward 1, has set up a number of meetings, I believe, for tonight and tomorrow night for a number of departments. This is an annual review. It's interesting. It's not like we're starting from zero. Sometimes I know certain councils, you think they never saw the budget before, but it's a very similar budget each year with tweaks, with sometimes subtractions, many times additions. Prices of things go up, so because we have contracts that we're dealing with all the unions at this time as well. So there's not a lot of new in there. There's a few things here and there, some readjustments in a couple of positions, but overall it's a pretty lean budget, and so we look forward to answering their questions and getting the information they need to come to decisions that obviously I respect the City Council. They have a job to do, and that's part of their role is to review the budget each year. So hopefully things will go smoothly.
The budget, I know, does take into account the proposed pension bonding obligation that you've proposed.
Correct.
What happens if that does not pass? What does that do to the budget?
Well, we'll have to submit a new budget. Well, the City Council will have to make major cuts to meet the needs that we would lose if we weren't doing the pension obligation bonds. But I have a pretty good feeling that the votes will be there for it, because it just makes too much sense, Joe, and there's significant savings there going forward. We have a unfunded liability that's sitting there, and we get knocked on that every year in our bond ratings and reviews. Now we're taking that unfunded liability, we're fully funding it. Now we have a debt number on that side, but that debt number is far less than what the projections are to meet the unfunded liability in the schedule over the next several years. It's by the tens of millions of dollars. So to me, it should be an easy vote.
And what would the timing be like if that were to pass in order to get it approved by the state in time?
There would be a quick turnaround. We've certainly had some discussions with the state. Mm-hmm. They recognize our plan. They recognize the timeliness of it, and I believe we'd get a quick turnaround on the review.
Okay. Some good news, Mayor. The Kennedy Center opened yesterday.
That is good news.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of seniors that really miss that place. They miss the camaraderie and fellowship with one another. It became really a second home for a lot of people, and a lot of the seniors that sitting at home by themselves, it's not healthy. It's good to be out with others, and of course with the pandemic that had to be suspended for some time, but. Yeah. Now that we're in much better shape, I know that there'll be a lot of seniors that are going to be very happy with that.
Yes, many activities in the big gym right now is where they're limited to, but it's in person.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
And lots coming up, of course. We've got Flag Day, we've got graduations, I believe some Hall of Fame ceremonies happening, so lots happening.
There is a lot happening. Yeah. This Sunday, the Police Memorial. The following Sunday is the Fire Memorial. Yeah. The two high school graduations, are certainly hoping for good weather for them. And then, yes, Flag Day will be not quite what it was because we're skipping the field event. Again, we're doing well on the numbers, but we felt that maybe too soon for the field event where people are uptight and close. So have the parade, and then of course we'll do the fireworks over Quincy Bay.
Yeah. Everybody's kind of going at their own speed, but going in the right direction, which is
Exactly.
Yeah.
Amen.
Appreciate your time, Mayor. Great to talk to you.
Hey, enjoy the day.
Thank you. You too.
Bye now.
Bye-bye. Quincy Mayor Thomas Koch, our weekly City Hall update here on AM Quincy.